Welcome to Total Body Bar Blast. We are going to sculpt from head to toe in such a short amount of time today. We're going to make the most of our time together. Now, I'm going to be utilizing some small hand weights today, so kind of anywhere in the neighborhood of 2 to 5 pounds is awesome. If you don't have weights, you're welcome to grab some water bottles, or you can just follow along without weights. We're going to get centered in a nice big plie, taking it down and up. Just warming up the body. Those knees are moving away from each other. We're going to inhale as we lower, exhale, and take a nice side stretch. Plie, side stretch. So we straighten those legs as we come up into that side stretch. Taking it now across the body, finding a little rotation of that spine. In bar, we always want to move in every direction the body was designed to move in, and now stepping it out side to side. So it's center, together, side, together, center, together, side, together. And now we take it into our lyrical lunge. So when we step out, we rotate little lyrical lunge together every time with those feet. This is our warm-up. Now drop it low, take it into a squat. We're getting ready to add a little knee lift in a moment once we have our balance. So right knee and then left knee. Coming up nice and tall as we drive that knee in towards the chest. Pause there. Shoot that leg behind you to straight leg lunge. We're reaching forward, pull it back. So heel lifts as you reach for the wall in front of you. It lowers as you take your arms back towards your hips and reach it all the way forward. Now belly hugs in. Sweep those fingertips up high. Let's do that again. You should be feeling this in your seat. Ooh la la. Inhale, lower. Exhale, rise. This time we take a little side stretch one direction, get our balance, other direction. Fantastic. We are shifting the weight forward now and a little lift of the leg. Lift, lift. Belly hugs in tight, so we're working the booty, step it back. How we doing? All right, some mountain climbers here. Tap, tap, tap. And then if you wanted to add a little more, a little plyometrics here, and then feet back together, overhead, back to center, and we're going to do it on the other side. So we'll repeat what we did, getting ready in a moment to repeat that in the other direction so we can make sure the other leg gets balanced out. So now just those squats. Inhale down, exhale rise. Weight is back in the heels, and that's time for that knee lift. Just a little standing balance challenge here. We're hugging belly in every time we take that knee up and then reach it behind. Calf lengthening is next. Reach and return. Reach and return. That heel is lifting and lowering so we can lengthen the calf muscles. This is going to give us more range of motion in the rest of our movement. And from here, it's a lower down. Belly stays off the thigh. Again, lower on the inhale. Exhale, rise, feeling it on the left side of the seat. Whew, use that breath to help fuel the movement. And to the side stretch. Take it to the other direction. You got it. And it's time for those mountain climbers. So it's actually almost even more of a little Spider-Man. You're tapping towards the outside of the wrist if possible. And you can take it here, or you can take it in little hopping bursts. Get a little cardio action in. And let's hop it back up. Fantastic. And let's start our standing bar work. So I'm going to grab my weights. And it's a squat and shoulder press. Squat and shoulder press. Now, of course, we already did some squats in our warm-up, but these are going to look a little different. We're going to turn them into a bar sequence, which is really just a term that we use to apply to the sequencing of movement patterns that we might find in ballet, yoga, Pilates, strength training, even like this one. Now, I want you to stay low and only take it up halfway. So we're going in the bottom half of that squat, Arms are coming up just a little bit. Slow and controlled. And then now hold the legs. It's just the arms. Just the arms. Give me that little shoulder press. You're holding the lowest squat that your knees are okay with. And then from here, hold those elbows up. Give me little pulses with both the legs and the arms. Just tiny pulses, slow and controlled. All muscle here. Hold the legs, just the legs are staying. And now we do a little heel pop as we take our shoulder flies out. So total body work here, alternating little heel pop. The back is feeling strong here. Hold the weights back up. And then both heels lift and lower. Lift and lower. Whew, challenging that balance and come up. Fantastic. From here, we're going to take it out into a side lunge with that same shoulder fly and back up. So that foot stays planted. We're going to lean towards the right and then come up. Left leg is staying long. I'm hugging my belly in so that I keep a nice long spine as I hinge forward over that thigh. Now, of course, we're going to barify it here in a little bit. Holding that bottom half now, and I want you to go halfway up with the legs. Give me some little tricep kickbacks. So I'm not fully straightening my right leg right now. I'm keeping it a little bit lower so that I can get some of that muscular endurance on that right leg. Now hold the legs still, 1-inch pulses now. 1-inch pulses, legs are lifting just a little bit, arms are lifting just a little bit, slow and controlled, and then hold it down, static hold with the legs, and then lift it all the way up. Take a little balance challenge here so that foot comes off the ground. Touch of momentum here, but not so much that you lose your balance. And let's come all the way up. We get to do that on the other side. So the arms are going to get double duty. We're ready? Let's go. It's out for that fly. Straighten left leg. Bend left leg. Straighten it up. You're squeezing those shoulder blades together as those weights fly out to the side. Remember, it's inhale as you lower, exhale as you rise. And in a little bit, we're going to take that lower half and pair it with a tricep kickback. That's what's coming next. So elbows point behind you, and then the leg lifts halfway up as you fly the pinky side of the wrist up towards the ceiling, lifting those elbows as high as they'll go. Abs are pulling in here, so we have a nice straight spine, even though we're hinging forward. And now long arms, give me little pulses with the legs and the arms. Arms stay straight. You should be feeling this in the backs of the arms, the triceps, and of course, on the outer edge of that left leg. Now, weights come in front, and it's a little lift of that knee, little balance challenge. So we've got big, powerful movement here. This will rev your heart rate in a hurry, while also challenging that balance, and let's come together. Perfect. Legs come apart again. Toes are wider than heels for that plie. Arms are going to form a little rainbow now as we dip it down and then come up into starfish. Dip it down into plie. Arms come wide. We're keeping a little tiny micro bend in the elbows just so we don't hyperflex in that joint. Knees are moving away from each other. We're pressing those heels into the ground. Fantastic. Now it's just a lower half for both the arms and the legs. So we're keeping a bend in those knees. The arms are hovering a little bit above shoulder height and then a little bit below. Small movements. And now just little pulses. So we're making those movements even smaller. Yes, you can. How are those inner thighs feeling? We want to strengthen in those adductors. Whew, holding here. So legs stay still as you take a little bicep curl. Arms come forward, open up. Again, take it forward, curl it in, straighten out, take it wide. Let's do that again. Legs are staying still and weights come to hips. Let's just take it side to side. Kind of dance it out here. Whew, and hold, 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 hold. You're done with that one. We're going to take a quick water break. And then let's find ourselves coming down onto the ground, getting a little core series in here, coming to hands and knees, extending left leg out behind you. Squeeze elbows behind you as you dip down into a little tricep chaturanga push-up. So elbows come behind like you're squeezing your biceps into your ribs. You should be feeling this along the back of the triceps. And then take it out to the side for a little oblique action if you wanted more. You don't have to. That little leg extension out to the side is totally optional. You should be feeling this all over the belly. And let's take it down. All right, ready for side 2? Again, arms get double duty as you extend that right leg out. It's down with the chest, press back up. You should be feeling this in the backs of your arms as well as in the belly. It's just like a little seesaw action. As the chest goes down, the leg will automatically come up. And then if you wanted to take that little extension out to the side, that's going to rev up your obliques a little bit more, sides of your waist. Whew. You're doing great. These are not easy. And knee comes down. Add a little extra here. Toes tuck, knees hover, and extend the leg, pull the knee in. Extend the leg, pull the knee in. My right knee I'm keeping pretty close to the ground. It's just a couple inches off, which is going to make it even more challenging for the abdominals. And then I'm going to take it over to the other side. I keep maintaining that belly button, the sensation of pulling it in towards the spine, so I'm not arching in the spine. And toes come down. From here, we're going to flip-a-roo onto our side. Moving into a side plank, either on the knee or with stacked feet. You can take it into a little développé from ballet and flex the foot and lower. So you find the knee, reach to the ceiling, flex the foot and lower. You're doing your best to keep the height of the hips the same throughout as you move that top leg. And come on down, we're moving now into a clamshell series. So heels are together, toes are open, and that top hip stays really stable as you open and close the knees. So you don't want to feel that hip bone moving forward and back. Your finger on the hip bone is kind of a gentle reminder that you're squeezing from the side of your seat, and then it's a little lift of the leg, alternate with a clamshell, a little lift of the leg, heels come together for the next one, heels apart, heels together. We're working the sides of the seat here so that the whole body is balanced. And then extend the leg forward, flex the foot, bring it back. It's almost like a little hamstring curl that you might do on the hamstring machine at the gym. Keeping that knee hip height, so we're still working the side of that seat, and then it's a little lift on the diagonal. Whew, I bet you feel this one. I sure do. Lift, lift, lift. And pull it in, and we're done with that side. We're going to repeat that whole series on side 2. Starting with that side plank, either on the knee or feet stacked, shoulders open, and we extend the leg up, flex the foot and lower. Find the knee, find the ceiling, flex the foot and lower. Find the knee, find the ceiling, flex the foot and lower. You're pressing the ground away from you with that elbow. And let's come on down, getting geared up for that clamshell series. So remember, you find that hip bone. Try to keep the hip bone super still. Imagine you had a wall behind you that was preventing that top hip from moving back in space. You're exhaling as you open, inhaling as you close, and in a moment, we'll start to take that little leg lift and then alternate it with a clamshell. So one time the heels separate, next time the heels close. You may notice one side is a little easier, harder than the other, but our aim is to try to balance out any imbalances in the body. Extend that leg forward, sweep it back. Point the toe, flex the foot. Maintaining about hip height with that leg the whole time. And we're getting ready to hold that foot forward in a moment. We'll hold it on the diagonal, little lift, lift, lift. I know these are easier said than done, and let's come on in, moving all the way onto our back now. Extend the legs long, reaching opposite hand to opposite foot. Now I'm going to keep my head on the ground just to prevent any tension on the cervical spine. I find I get plenty of the abdominals here as long as I'm really squeezing the abdominals in, utilizing that exhale as I move arm towards leg. So it's a deep inhale through the nose, a little Pilates exhale through the mouth, since barre is a fusion of yoga and Pilates, ballet, and strength training. Both legs glue together as one now, and we're going to move in little tiny circles, gluing the arch of the back down onto the ground and trying to keep those hips nice and still again, just like we did before. We'd rather have small circles without those hips moving than big circles feeling like they're wiggling and wobbling. Inhale to open the circle, exhale to close it. And let's find a little hip lift here. So peeling up into our bridge. Maybe little hip lifts here. Maybe come 6 inches down. Take it back up. Inhale halfway down. Exhale and rise. I'm going to add an additional layer on for anyone who wants it. Shifting one leg all the way up to the ceiling, flex the foot and lower. Lift and lower, lift and lower. And again, we're trying to keep both hips level with each other as we do this. That left hip is going to want to try to dip. Let's take that foot down and we'll take it to the other side. So again, noticing if that long leg is trying to pull that right hip down, see if you can keep it just as high as the left. Whew, strengthening the back body. Close that now vertebrae by vertebrae until the low back is on the ground. Hug the knees into the chest. Extending one leg long, draw opposite knee in. And then we're going to find a little pigeon pose here. So right ankle over left thigh. Hug the whole shape in, sending tailbone down towards the mat. And then extending left arm long, rotating towards right arm today for a little extra low back twist. If that feels like it's too much, you can always unhook the right ankle from the left quad. And then use that hand to pull the shape back in the center. We'll do the same thing on the other side. So this time the left knee draws in, sending that right leg long on the mat. Right knee bends as you take the ankle over thigh, draw that whole shape in, lengthening the tailbone towards the far end of your mat. Finding some nice deep recovery breaths here. Finding length in that hip, and then again, right arm out to the side. We're going to shift the whole weight over to the left side of the mat for a little extended spinal twist here. And again, if that's uncomfortable, you can unhook and just have both knees falling over to the side. Time to shift that shape back. We're going to press up into a seated position and take it into a nice little side stretch here. Shoulder draws away from the ear, really lengthening. Send that right hip heavy into the mat. We'll take it over to the other side. Back up, let's sweep arms overhead, interlacing fingers, drop the shoulders down. Hands come behind head as we fly the elbows away from each other, stretching to the chest, opening the front body. And thank you so much for joining.